Hey guys, welcome to our very first video for our farm. My name is Kenzi. I am very excited to share this homestead journey that we're on with you guys. A little bit about me. I've started homesteading-ish about 5 years ago. I started with 5 chickens in my backyard in my subdivision. And that escalated to 2 raised beds that we learned a lot from having. It was a lot of fun. We started off with just your basics, tomatoes, peppers, some beans, things like that. And that really is what helped me become more passionate about, growing our own food. Do we know where our food comes from these days? Not really. Some of you might. I do now. We moved from our subdivision in town about 2.5 years ago. We bought a house with 5 acres. We now have 42 chickens because chicken math is a thing. We also have 4 ducks, a bottle calf that was very much unexpected and not planned. And we also have 3 Mangalitsa pigs. So I have decided to share my homesteading journey with you guys and share just some of the knowledge that I have acquired over the last few years. I think we should start with gardening because that's really the season that we're in. We're all, dying for spring and warmer weather. We're in the middle of an ice storm right now in Northwest Arkansas. So I will be starting seeds, possibly later this evening or tomorrow. So I wanted to just share that journey with you guys and let you guys just kind of be inspired, if you will. If this is something that you've ever thought about doing, just wanted to give you guys the knowledge to get started. So here in Northwest Arkansas, we are in growing zone 6B. And what that really means is the lowest possible cold temperature that you get in your area, which is pretty, I'm not going to say irrelevant, but it is not as important as you might believe that it is. You can really grow a lot of things within your area if you are set up to start seeds indoors. If you have a shorter growing season, like, a colder climate than what we have here, you can start seeds indoors and you could, keep them in pots in the house until your, last frost date is over and all of those things. So it gives you more flexibility. So I don't want you to believe that you can only grow, a smaller handful of things in your area. You have other options. What's really most important when it comes to gardening and growing food is how many days are in your growing season. So here in zone 6B, we have 177 days for our growing season. Now that counts from the last frost date to the first frost date of that year. So here we get our last frost about May 14th, and then we don't get a frost until typically mid-October, but that's never set in stone, right? Weather has a mind of her own. And what that means for growing your own food is each plant, each kind of plant, each little sub-variety of each plant has a different number of days until maturity. So I have 2 cabbages for an example here. This is my Brunswick cabbage. This particular cabbage takes 90 days to grow until maturity. That's not really a problem for me because I have 177 days of a growing season to grow this cabbage. However, this golden acre cabbage only takes 60 to 65 days to mature. So if you live in a zone that has a shorter amount of days in your growing season, maybe that cabbage would be a better option for you. So something else that I want to elaborate on when it comes to choosing seeds for your garden, choose seeds for plants, or choose just started plants if that's the route that you choose to go, that you guys eat already. If your family doesn't eat eggplant, maybe you don't want to grow eggplant. I don't have any eggplants in my seed stash because that's not something that my family really eats. I do like tomatoes. I haven't met a tomato yet that I didn't like, so I grow several varieties of tomatoes. I also like to be a little more adventurous. So while I grow red tomatoes, I also grow purple tomatoes. These really awesome, fun cherry tomatoes will be in my garden this year. I just like a variety. I feel like my garden should be my oasis. It should be my escape from reality at the end of a long day. So I grow things that I feel are pretty or fun. How cute are these teeny tiny cucamelons? Cucumber flavored mini watermelon looking things. How can you not love that? I'm also growing this really fun purple kale. For those of you that know me, you guys probably already know that purple is like the most important color in my life. My hair could be purple. I could wear purple lipstick. It's just my favorite. Okay, so once you have decided what seeds you will be growing or what plants you want to be starting, we're gonna move on to planning out your space for your garden. I mean, some of you might live in a subdivision like we did when we first started, or you could live in an apartment and all you have is a balcony to grow food off of. Just know that those are options. You don't have to have half an acre for a garden. That's not necessary by any means. You have a lot of different options. We're gonna start with container gardens. You know, you could also look into square foot gardening. It takes approximately 1 square foot for 1 tomato plant. You don't have to, you know, have 15 tomato plants if you only have you or a few children. You know, tomatoes are very prolific. You can get a lot of them off of 1 plant. I've made you guys some graph paper. This is how I personally plan out my gardens every year. Over here you have some examples of container gardens. You could do a tote that's approximately 2 foot wide and have 2 tomato plants in it, or 2 peppers, or, you know, 2 squash, things like that. You have so many options. This is an option of a raised bed, which, you know, is phenomenal for keeping weeds out if done correctly. And then here you have an example of a row crop garden where it's just tilled up dirt and then planted just in straight lines. Those are all options. There's also an option of a kitchen garden or a potager garden, I think is how you pronounce that. I don't speak French. That's what I call it. Where you do extreme companion planting. You put herbs in with your vegetables, and you can put flowers in that help keep, you know, certain pests away. There's so many options. I hope that this kind of gives you maybe some peace of mind, if you will, that you can literally start from ground zero when it comes to gardening. So yeah, once you figure out what zone you're in, how many days you have in your growing season, go select your seeds. In our next video, we're gonna dive really deep into seed starting, and you guys will get to see me do a lot of that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you next time.